Well, it's Thursday, which is an extremely busy day here at the house. There's probably about 10 people here today, so if there is a little bit of noise throughout this segment, I do apologise. However, before we head off to this evening's event, I wanted to quickly sit down and talk to you about a couple of items, a couple of products that have been sitting on the side for a little while now. And also, in my last video, I picked up a pair of Chini shoes, and I didn't actually take the opportunity after I'd been in store to show those to you. So I thought we'll do that this morning because there's a couple of lovely pairs in there. Now, first things first, a family friend has set up a company with a historical drink. Now, some of you may be familiar with the term a gunner. For me personally, it was a drink that I was introduced to whilst being in golf environments. So this may be a drink that you've already heard of, or a cocktail mix that's similar to a drink that you know. But the drink is a gunner, and this right here is the Gunner Original, and inside we have a couple of cans. One of these drinks, which originates from the original, is a non-alcoholic, and the other one has a little drop of rum in it. I was just reading the leaflet that actually came along with this, and quite fascinating. I didn't even know this, to be fair. It says that the drink actually derived from the 1800s, and it says, "We were feeling a trifle parched and were in search of something non-alcoholic to quench our thirst. The available options weren't really up to snuff, and our thoughts turned to an old colonial classic. The young men of Britain created Gunner to ward off the heat and humidity that they faced in the exotic lands of Southeast Asia. It proved to be refreshing and restorative that those intrepid young explorers judged it just the ticket. Almost 200 years later, our adventurous nation needs the non-alcoholic refreshment, the Gunner." And so here we have it. Prepped, ready to go, and I actually really like the branding of this. I think that it's got a nice old-time feel about it. Very simple. So you can see we have the Classic and the Sinner. Of course, the Classic is non-alcoholic and the Sinner has a little drop of alcohol in it. But these will be very convenient. I'm not sure if I've mentioned on this channel before, I love ginger beer. And whenever we go playing golf, my dad always orders a Gunners at the end of the round. And so I know that I'm going to enjoy these. They've had my dad's seal of approval, so I'll get those chilling in the fridge and I'll enjoy those at some stage, probably over the weekend. Now, the second and third thing that I wanted to show you today are the two new shoes that I picked up at Joseph Chini. One of the pairs was very kindly gifted, and the second pair I purchased because I just really liked them. And I was like, I can't decide between the two. Do you know what? I'm going to buy a pair. And so we quickly grabbed the pair that the team very kindly sent over. I think Carlton are the Brogues. So these are the Knightsbridge Brown Museum shoes. So these are actually in a size 9F. I'm usually a UK 8. The F is just the width of the last. So they do F, G, H, and obviously F is their standard width, G slightly larger, H larger still. Now, my goal when I headed into Joseph Chini were to pick up a lovely pair of shoes to go with the navy suit that I got from Suster and Hicks. And these particular shoes are from their Imperial last, which has been apparently a very successful last for Joseph Chini. Got a really nice, elegant shape, which you shall see in a second. And I just think that they found that nice balance between a lovely, soft silhouette without them being too compromising. The reason why I've gone for a 9, by the way, is because I have incredibly wide feet. And so to allow for that and to keep that nice slimline profile, we actually sized up. So they do fit a little bit longer on the toe than my normal size, but we all agreed they actually didn't look out of place. So here you have them. These are the Knightsbridge shoes from Joseph Chini & Sons. They've got a lovely patina on them, as you can see. These are going to polish up really beautifully. And they've got a nice squared off toe as well, which I personally really like. I think that the small detailing around the toe as well just really helps. They do have different styles and models and lots of different variations in this last, so we are spoiled for choice. I also decided to pick up a shoe tree to go with these. This shoe tree is actually made for the Imperial last, so it just meant that this was going to fit the shoe perfectly. And how nice are they? So as you can see, they've got the exact same shape. So they do a great job of filling those out. Actually, I didn't mention this as well. This is something that was really handy with going in store and actually sitting down with one of the advisors, because they know a lot about shoes. And we stuck this inner sole in, which this was what made the size 9s fit me perfectly, because the width of these is spot on, because I'm filling them out in the right places, perfect width. I'm not stretching them too much, but there's no space. And to be honest with you, it was just the length and the height that was causing a little bit of an issue. And as soon as we stuck that in, and I mean, we're talking 2 mil of fabric, it just completely solved it. So it was worthwhile going in and actually sitting down and trying on their shoes, because the shoes that I'm going to show you in a second, they're an 8.5. So anyway, these are going to be worn to this evening's event, and I'll actually chat to you in a bit about that. But really, really lovely. Of course, I'll leave a link to Joseph Cheney and Sons in the description box of this video. I really want to sit down and talk to you about the history of Joseph Cheney and Sons. But I was having a discussion the other day with somebody, and it seems to be that I might be confused about how Joseph Cheney came about. And so I don't want to say anything and get it wrong. But there is a link with the Church's family, and Joseph Cheney, of course, are a British-made Northamptonshire shoemaker. And they've got an incredible history. They used to make shoes for Crockett & Jones and Churches and of the like, all the top shoemakers. And so I will get some more information, and I'll update you properly at some stage what Joseph Cheney's link is with Churches and with other shoemaking companies in the UK. But they're really beautiful and very well and competitively priced shoes. That is the first pair. Put these back in. I think these are going to have to go on my display piece in my wardrobe with those lasts. And these right here are the Carlton Espresso polished shoe. As you can see, they are a Derby brogue. A pair of shoes that would be fitting for less formal occasions. I really like the polished effect on these. They've got a nice shine to them, which does dress them up a little bit. But I do think that I'll be able to get away with wearing these with slightly more casual looks as well, so I don't necessarily have to wear a shirt when I'm wearing these. I guess you don't really have to wear a shirt when you're wearing any shoes, but I feel like these would certainly lend themselves to that. The last on these, as mentioned, is an F, which is that standard size again. However, they just seem to be a bit more generous. So as you can see, hopefully see, I've not got the comparison to show you, but they are a little bit wider. Very kind of in line with the Church's sort of sizing here. And for me personally, that works really, really well because, as mentioned, I have wide feet. On the bottom of the shoe, you'll see that it says Made in England with the Goodyear welt, which is always a good sign. It's a good mark of quality. And inside you'll see that, again, we've got the serial number, the last number, and Made in England, which is handwritten, which is really lovely. So I am very pleased to be adding 2 new pairs of British made shoes to the wardrobe. I do want to explore a little bit more in the world of shoes, because bespoke shoes is an area that I've not even delved into yet. And at the back end of last year, after acquiring the Saphir kit that I used to polish my shoes, I went and followed them on Instagram, and they frequently share pairs of shoes that have been polished and treated with their products. And some of the shoes that they post are just absolutely stunning, and often or not, when I click onto them, very much being produced by sort of like handcrafted or bespoke shoemakers. And I'm doing a little bit of research, and I'm finding that there are actually quite a few in London. So at some stage I'm probably going to go down that path and see what we find. But for now, I'm going to get ready for this evening's event. We're going to be heading to Les Ambassadors Members Club, which is in Mayfair. And it's also a casino, but we're going to be having the DNA Legends dinner there this evening. DNA are a luxury travel company, and we're going to be having some key speakers there this evening, such as Lee Dixon, who was an ex-Arsenal football player. I'm going to be heading down as a guest of Sustr and Hicks, and I'm planning on not being late, so I'm going to put down the camera, I'm going to go and get ready for the evening ahead, and I'll pick up with you just before we head off. Well, I'm going to have to keep this rather quick because my cab is outside. But this is my look this evening. Of course, I'm wearing my Sustr and Hicks bespoke suit. Feels amazing. I'm wearing it as a 3-piece. I've gone for a navy tie, and I've also, of course, worn my brand new Joseph Cheney and Sons shoes. So we're all set, ready to go. Head down to London and enjoy the evening. Being a private members club and a casino, I didn't really have many opportunities to film at Les Ambassadors the other evening, but I did have a fantastic night with Sustr and Hicks at the DNA Legends dinner. Of course, we had some key speakers. We had a cricketer, a rugby player, and a footballer. I think I mentioned before I headed out that Lee Dixon was speaking, and I'm an Arsenal fan, and I got to sit at his table, which was really lovely as well. The guys were all very humble. They were telling their truth, and there was no holding back. Some of the stories they were telling would not be suitable for me to tell on here, let's just put it that way. But there were some great questions asked as well. And we ended up spending probably I'd say about 5 hours partying after the dinner itself, and I didn't get home until 4 AM in the morning, which is why I didn't pick up the camera the next day, because I was feeling a little bit delicate, to say the least. The whiskies were on full flow, but it was a brilliant evening, and it was great to catch up with Scott and Jeff Suster. And moving on, I'm going to be heading off to Portugal tomorrow with my brother and dad. It was a lovely Christmas gift from my stepmom and dad. They're going to be taking us to Portugal for 3 rounds of golf across 4 days, and we're going to be playing the Gordon Tour. Hopefully something that we can do more in the future, because I think this is going to be the first time that all 4 of us have gone out and played abroad together as just a family. On my stag do in Marbella, I did go and play golf and they were all there, but just as the 4 of us. And so we're a little bit competitive as a family, so I'm sure it will get a little bit heated at times, but I'm really looking forward to it. The weather's looking like it's going to be really lovely, so it's going to be nice to go out and get some sun, because it's been so miserable recently in the UK. And I think for the rest of today, I'm just going to whip my stuff together, get packed ready, because my dad's going to be coming early tomorrow morning to pick me up. So we will see you in Portugal. Oh yes. Oh, you've just rolled off the dance floor. Welcome to day 1 of the Gordon Tour.
No, you're right. I think you're just in that bush on the right hand side.
Well, we're actually playing up to our apartment on the 7th hole here. Daddy G just struck an iron up there. Not sure what happened with that. Next up, young one, young gun. Oh, he doesn't want that going on the YouTube.
Should I bring me a spare ball as well?
Lovely par 3 over the water.
113 to the pin. Now,
113?
yeah,
that's a wedge.
Wedge, isn't it, for me?
Yeah. Appreciating the Portuguese architecture. The house is particularly nice. I like all the cacti or cactus surrounding it. Junior taking his 3rd shot approaching the green. Just truck it in. Oh, he's really hit that short. Almost as bad as my camera work.
You know what the funny thing is? This is drivable. That is how funny it is.
It's hilariously funny.
I'm still going to win. Maybe drivable for you, it won't be for me.
We are on day 2 and we're playing Westcliff. And let me tell you, this is probably one of the hardest and longest courses that I've played on. It's very beautiful, but you often find sloping hills. So for example, here you really need to be sticking it far left because it's going to roll to the right. If you hit the middle of the fairway, you're going to end up in the rough. Pretty much every hole is very similar, often with water as well. And lots of sand, so there's lots of this stuff. So it's testing us. From where we stand, that's what we see. Not the easiest. Nonetheless, very good fun. A few beers, a bit of golf, happy days.
I feel destroyed. Lovely. Nice pickpocket.
Got a pick for the middle. On the green, yes.
Well done, Ash. It's going back, Ash. Oh, no, it's not. It's not.
Well, this is the 18th hole here at West Cliffs. Probably the best hole of the track. Looks incredible, doesn't it?
Can't wait to hit in the water.
Yeah. That lake's got my name all over it. It's a long par 3.
Is it par 5? Par 3? Par 4.
Ooh, you can see where I get the jokes from.
Par 4?
That's huge.
It's 4 miles away.
Well, it's the second evening here and we've come to see the sunset again at the coast. I love a Portuguese coastline. This is a nice spot, isn't it, to see the sundown? What do you mean? No.
Smells really good as well. Yeah, it's nice. He lives out here, doesn't he? He lives in Portugal, yeah. He lives in a house with no roof.
Okay, we're back home and I have brought the good weather with me. It's an absolutely beautiful day today. The weather was really nice in Portugal. When we were actually leaving though, it was raining, so we timed it perfectly. The days were really nice and warm. It got a little bit cold in the evening, but I do hope that we make a bit more of a ritual of going out and spending some time abroad playing golf, because it was really nice to bond with the family and also get some golf in. My brother, my older brother, he won the tournament. He came first. My dad and I came joint second on countback, and then my younger brother came third or fourth, depends on how you look at it. You'll hate me telling you that as well. But the golf quality and standard was poor, but the courses were so difficult. We played on Praia del Rey on day one, and that wasn't too bad. That was along the coastline, which you would have seen in the video. And then the second and third day, we played on a course called West Cliffs. It's kind of still under development a little bit. The course isn't, but the surrounding areas, there's lots of development going on. And it was just so tricky. I think a lot of it was quite psychological. There were quite long carries across two quite thin and slopey fairways. The greens are really quick, very contoured. And there was a little bit of water as well. So we lost a few balls, but all of us really did enjoy it. And we played stroke play, which, if anybody's not familiar with golf, it's a handicap system which tries to make the game play quite fair and even, but we're actually all playing off the same kind of handicaps. And so really that system didn't come into play. And so what my dad suggested, and it worked really well, was whoever came first on the first day had 2 shots taken away from them, and whoever lost had 2 shots gained. And so that system meant that it was balancing out if somebody was playing well and somebody wasn't playing as well, that there was still a little bit of competitiveness amongst us. And my older brother managed to pull through. He won on the first and second day, which was enough to give him the lead, and then on the third day came second. So he ended up winning, even though he had 4 shots taken from him across the 3 days, which was good. He deserved it. He played some really, really nice shots. He's one hell of a driver. He just absolutely nails it down the fairway. And my younger brother, his short game is really, really good. He's nailed the flop shot. But enough about golf. Lovely holiday. We're back, and I think I'm just going to unpack and spend some time with the animals and of course Lydia, and then we'll pick up again very soon. You are so silly, Lummy.
You upset because you can't get in?
Okay, Lummy. Happy girl with mucky chops. You dirty chops. You two are silly boys as well. Yes, me. Lovely to see you again, Barkawini. Good morning. There's a big smile on my face today, and that's because we're going to be heading down to London to shoot the Spring-Summer 2023 Field and Falconry campaign for Purdy. And many of you all know that I've been a customer of Purdy now for quite a few years. They do some fantastic country attire. And so A, I'm really looking forward to seeing their Spring-Summer collection, but B, to be a part of that. And I feel very lucky to have been asked to have shot this. So we're going to be going down. I'm not quite sure who the photographer is or where the studio is, but I'm sure it's all going to be very beautiful. Purdy always create exceptional content, and so we're going to be going down there today and meeting the team. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to be able to show you. I need to speak to them and find out whether this is embargoed and when this is being released and when this video is going to be going out. And if I can, of course, I'll film and showcase some of the collection. But if I'm not allowed to, I'm not allowed to. But regardless, I'll be able to show you the set, hopefully, and what we're getting up to throughout the day. We have just arrived to Purdy's manufacturing warehouse upstairs. They're actually currently putting all the guns together and they're shooting the collection in the warehouse today, which is super cool. Unfortunately, I am unable to show you in the warehouse, and I'm also not able in this video going to be able to show you the collection because it doesn't come out until next month. So I'm a little bit restricted in what I can show you today, but I promise you it will be worth the wait. The color palette of this new collection is stunning, and they've got field jackets and some really stunning trousers, and so it's going to be perfect for the summer season. And then in a month I'll be able to showcase the stuff that I wasn't able in this video in that video, and hopefully it's not too confusing. Do you think that's why people want to see it, because they want to know what they're getting into?
Possibly, yeah.
Because it's the same in like for menswear, like going into a tailor is quite scary.
Yeah.
So yeah, so perhaps that's why it's interesting. It's people are like, hang on a minute, like I'm not sure if I feel comfortable going into a salon and having a consultation. So what is it?
Yeah.
What's it about?
What's it about?
And they learn, and that's what I mean. I feel like people are using it as like a, and when something sticks, you just do it again.
Yeah.
And sometimes as a creator it can get a bit boring because you feel like you're doing repetitive content and you're just posting out the same every other week. But if the people want to see it, sometimes simplicity is key. So it might seem really basic. And I always say this to people, like, you're a professional in your field, so your level of understanding the information is far greater than your average Joe. So when you go online, you want to really talk about like really geeky stuff, like about, you know, like why does hair behave in the way it does, or like why do we use these products, and what ingredients are in these on a layman's term, a simple level, like why, how.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning, and then you will have people that come along that are more into it, that are going online, who does like education stuff.
Right. There's a lot of people who do education stuff, isn't there? Yeah, I know. I think it went really well.
Yeah. Okay, I've just walked through the door off the back of today's shoot. It was very successful. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a shame that I wasn't able to show you more in this video, but just trust me, it's some really beautiful country attire. And that's about all I can say at the moment. But Lydia's actually in London herself at the minute. And so I think I'm just gonna cook myself some dinner, relax, chill with the boys. It's a beautiful evening. We're actually coming into a really lovely weekend. We're doing some nice weather. So I'm looking forward to getting out into the garden and enjoying that. But for now, I'm gonna get cracking with some editing. Well, it's the bank holiday weekend. It's an absolute blinder. We're set to have good weather, so Lydia's in the garden sorting out some of the floral decorations. I'm actually going to be having a pizza party tomorrow because it is my birthday on Monday, 34 years old. Time is flying by. I wasn't expecting as many people to be available because I only made the decision to have this party yesterday, and we're looking at around about 30 plus people that have confirmed that they're going to be coming. And so I want to do a little bit of housekeeping to make sure that the garden is in safe and a good, hello darling. I want to mow the lawn and jet wash some stuff out the back, do a big poo pickup as well because the boys have been going Armageddon out there on me. However, the reason why we are currently up in my wardrobe is because my rug has arrived from Eaton Square. Now, the reason why Eaton Square were the perfect choice for this room is because they actually supplied the carpet in our living room. Hello. You want to cuddle again? Come on, I'm going to pick her up and she won't want to be picked up. See? It's been a while since Granny Meow's been on the tube. Isn't it? Oh, you're going to make me lose my trail of thought. I'm going to put you down, but you need to be quiet for us. I've fed you, you've had cuddles, you're now getting fur all over me. So as I was saying, it adds a really nice piece of cohesiveness throughout the house, and it also meant that I was able to fully bespoke the rug that I wanted. So the size, the binding or the whipping, however you want to finish the rug, you have full control of. And so I've gone for the softer than Cecil Earthlight carpet, and then I've gone for a Seagrass 15mm binding just to border it. The rug will pretty much fill the majority of my floor space. I think from memory I left about 1 meter border of floor around the edge. The acoustics in this room should change dramatically, which will be really lovely when I'm filming videos on my TikTok, for example, where it's quite echoey. And also it means that when Andy does my Centre Island, which he is well underway, he's getting started on that, and of course, as mentioned, it's going to be finished in that American walnut, which I'm really looking forward to. That's going to sit nicely on it, and I'm going to be able to move that around, and it shouldn't catch too much on the carpet. But before we get the Eaton Square rug unwrapped, I need to remove a few hanging rails and get the sort of floor area cleaned in here, because there's quite a lot of stuff in here at the moment. I've got quite a few campaigns that need to be shot, and I like to hang things out and get them all prepped, ready to go. So I'm going to get these out of the room, and then we'll get the rug in. We're going to take a look and see what this space is going to be looking like. And we're going to get one step closer to having this room complete. Well, this is fantastic news. It actually comes with a rug gripper. So the green piece that you can see has a sort of like grippy, sticky texture to it. So that will go on the floor first. The rug will go on top and it should hold its position. Very happy that that's with it. I wasn't expecting that. It's a nice touch. And just like that, the Eaton Square rug is in, ready for Summit Carpentry to do their magic. I'm so happy with it. I've actually just realised as well, the Seagrass binding is the exact same as that in my office. So again, ties in really nicely with that. But I felt the colour really tied in with the rest of the room. And of course, adding a lighter fabric onto the ground when the floor is a little bit darker seemed like the right thing to do as well. Could have been a bit more adventurous, I know, but I like things to be safe and classic, and I think that this definitely does the trick. And then I'm going to make my way down into the garden, get that jet wash out, get the lawnmower out. It's going to be the first time actually that I've used that lawnmower, so all of the fun stuff going down today, but I'm not going to vlog it because I need to be cracking on, making sure that I'm getting everything ready and finished for tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll leave all of the relevant links in the description box down below. Have a lovely rest of the week, and I'll see you next Wednesday, 5 PM. Take care.